Hi students, good morning. So my name is Fanindra and I am lecturer in physics in Vigyan Institutions. So let us continue our discussion regarding the chapter laws of motion. So in our previous session, we have discussed regarding the frame of reference. So there are mainly two types of frame of reference. One is inertial frame of reference, another one is non-inertial frame of reference. So, while considering a non-inertial frame of reference, which is also called as accelerated frame of reference, we consider a pseudo force to make use of Newton's second law. So, to use Newton's second laws, we have considered a pseudo force which is in opposite to the direction of the acceleration of the body. So, by considering the pseudo force, we may able to solve the problems more easily in case of Newton non-inertial frame of references. So, in our last session, we have discussed a topic how to calculate the apparent weight of a man in a lift. So, there we have actually calculated by using the Newton's laws. We have considered it as inertial frame of reference. So the same problem can be solved by using non-inertial frame of reference also. So in this session, let us see some of the problems how we can solve while considering a frame of reference as inertial frame and in inertial non-inertial frame of reference. So let us go into our topic. So okay students, now let us see the case to calculate the apparent weight of a man in a lift. So, without considering the pseudo force, that is, the apparent weight of the man in a lift is seen by the observer. That is, we are considering the frame of reference by a person who is outside the lift or the person which is stationary. So, when the person is outside the lift and observing the weight of the man in the lift, then how to calculate? As we calculated in our last session. So, consider the cases when the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a or moving downwards with an acceleration a. So now considering the first case, the lift is moving upward, lift is moving up with acceleration a. With an acceleration of a. So by drawing the free body diagram, the weight of the man acts vertically downwards, which is mg, and the normal reaction perpendicular to the surface of the contact, so it is vertically upwards, so normal reaction n. This normal reaction shows the apparent weight of the body, and as the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a, the net force acting on the body is ma. Therefore, writing the equation from this free body diagram, n minus mg is equal to ma and n is equal to mg plus ma, which is the apparent weight of the man. Apparent weight is equal to mg plus ma. Okay, so here in this case, without considering the pseudo force means the frame of the reference or the person is outside the lift and seeing the weight of the man in the lift. Okay, then the apparent weight when the lift is moving upward direction with an acceleration a is mg plus ma, or downwards with a deceleration a is also mg plus ma, as we calculated in our last session of the video. Now take the second case where lift is moving downwards, lift is moving down with acceleration a, with acceleration a. So if the lift is moving downwards, then the free body diagram will be in this manner. The weight of the person mg, normal reaction, and as the lift is moving downwards, it is ma. So now the equation can be mg minus n is equal to ma, or n is equal to mg minus ma. N is nothing but the apparent weight of the man, or the reading of the weight of the man by the weighing machine, that is mg minus me. So in the both the cases, you can observe that when the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a, the weight of the body is, apparent weight of the body is increased than the actual weight. Similarly, when the lift is moving downwards with an acceleration a, then the apparent weight is less than the actual weight of the person. So this problem is solved without considering the pseudo force. That is, the frame of reference we have considered is an inertial frame of reference, as the person is outside the lift and the person is in rest condition only. Now let us move on to the how to solve the same problem when the frame of reference is inside the lift. That is, the person observing the weight of the body is inside the lift, which is a non-inertial frame of reference. So now let us solve the problem with considering a pseudo force. Okay students, now let us solve the problem, the same problem, with considering a pseudo force. That means here the frame of reference or the person observing the weight of the man is also inside the lift only. That is a non-inertial frame. So let us consider the same two cases. That the first case is when lift is moving up with an acceleration a. If the lift is moving up with an acceleration of a, so the forces acting on the body is weight of the body mg, and as the person is also inside the lift, so there is a pseudo force acting on the body. So the pseudo force is always opposite to the direction of the acceleration. As you consider the lift as it is moving upward direction, so as it is moving upward direction with an acceleration a, the pseudo force will be in downward direction. So the pseudo force is in this direction. So pseudo force is equal to ma. Okay, and the normal reaction is upwards. So according to the inertial frame of reference, or the person inside the lift, they are in stationary or in rest mode. So net force acting on the body should be equal to 0. So net force is equal to 0. Right. So now the equation can be written as n minus mg minus ma is equal to 0, or n is equal to mg plus ma, which means apparent weight of the man is equal to mg plus ma, which is similar to the case that we have considered before, that is in inertial frame of reference. The apparent weight of the man is greater than the actual weight. So, and the expression is also same while considering the expression of without considering a pseudo force. Right. Now let us consider the second case where the lift is moving down. Lift is moving down with an acceleration a. So here the lift is moving down with an acceleration a in the second case. So if you draw the free body diagram, the weight of the body acts vertically downwards and the normal reaction acts vertically upwards. As the lift is moving downwards, there is a force, pseudo force, acting upwards, which is opposite to the direction of the acceleration. So the direction of the pseudo force is in this manner. That is equal to ma. And the net force acting on the body is 0, as with respect, as the total lift is moving down, but with respect to the frame of reference that we have considered inside the lift, the person is at rest. So there is no net force acting on the body. So we can write the equations in this manner: ma plus n minus mg is equal to 0 or n is equal to mg minus ma, which is equal to the apparent weight, which is mg minus ma. As the lift is moving downwards, then apparent weight of the man is less than the true weight of the person in the lift. Okay, so now I think we have got a clear idea how to use pseudo force or how to make use of the non-inertial frame of reference by considering a pseudo force and make use of the Newton's second law. Let us see one more example that we can get a clear idea regarding this pseudo forces. Okay, students, now let us solve the problem, the same problem with considering a pseudo force. That means here the frame of reference or the person observing the weight of the man is also inside the lift only. That is a non-inertial frame. So let us consider the same two cases. That the first case is when lift is moving up with an acceleration a. If the lift is moving up with an acceleration of a, so the forces acting on the body is weight of the body mg, and as the person is also inside the lift, so there is a pseudo force acting on the body. So the pseudo force is always opposite to the direction of the acceleration. As you consider the lift, as it is moving upward direction, so as it is moving upward direction with an acceleration a, the pseudo force will be in downward direction. So the pseudo force is in this direction. So pseudo force is equal to ma. Okay, and the normal reaction is upwards. So according to the inertial frame of reference or the person inside the lift, they are in stationary or in rest mode. So net force acting on the body should be equal to 0. So net force is equal to 0. Right. So now the equation can be written as n minus mg minus ma is equal to 0, or n is equal to mg plus ma, which means apparent weight of the man is equal to mg plus ma, which is similar to the case that we have considered before, that is in inertial frame of reference. The apparent weight of the man is greater than the actual weight. So, and the expression is also same while considering the expression of without considering a pseudo force. Right. Now, let us consider the second case where the lift is moving down. Lift is moving down with an acceleration a. So here the lift is moving down with an acceleration a in the second case. So if you draw the free body diagram, the weight of the body acts vertically downwards and the normal reaction acts vertically upwards. As the lift is moving downwards, there is a force, pseudo force acting upwards, which is opposite to the direction of the acceleration. So the direction of the pseudo force is in this manner. That is equal to ma. And the net force acting on the body is 0, as the with respect as the total lift is moving that down, but with respect to the frame of reference that we have considered inside the lift, the person is at rest. So there is no net force acting on the body. So we can write the equations in this manner: ma plus n minus mg is equal to 0, or n is equal to mg minus ma, which is equal to the apparent weight, which is mg minus ma. As the lift is moving downwards, then apparent weight of the man is less than the true weight of the person in the lift. Okay, so now I think we have got a clear idea how to use pseudo force or how to make use of the non-inertial frame of reference by considering a pseudo force and make use of the Newton's second law. Let us see one more example that we can get a clear idea regarding this pseudo forces. Okay, students, now let us go to the next example where we can understand how to use this make use of inertial frame of reference and non-inertial frame of reference. How to solve the problem regarding while considering the inertial frame and non-inertial frame. That is, how to use a pseudo force. So the question is like this: a block of mass m placed on a smooth wedge of angle of inclination theta, and the whole system is accelerated horizontally so that the block does not slip down. So here the block does not slip down. Find the acceleration of the wedge and force to be applied on the wedge, force exerted by the wedge on the block. So this is the question, and this question can be solved in the two ways. So while considering the frame of reference, that is, a person is observing outside the wedge, and with the non-inertial frame of the reference, that is when the person is on the wedge. Okay, so now let us solve the problem. So let us solve the equation for the three questions, with these two frame of references. Okay, students, to solve the above question, the first we consider that the observer is in ground. So for an observer is in the ground, and if they consider the wedge is moving in this direction with an acceleration a. So let us draw the free body diagram for the block. As the block is initially at rest condition only, that is at stationary condition only. So if you draw a free body diagram, that is, so this is the inclined plane with the angle of inclination theta, and here is the block whose weight of the body acts vertically downwards towards the center of earth, that is mg, and the normal reaction is perpendicular to the surface of the contact, that is normal reaction n. And as the block is the moving in this direction, so the force is acting in this direction. So acceleration is in this direction, so net force acting is equal to ma. So the normal reaction can be resolved into two components along this direction, that is n cos theta. As this angle of inclination is theta, it is also theta, so n cos theta, and along this direction it is n sin theta, right? So as there are no forces acting on the body, the along the horizontal direction, if you see, observe the along the horizontal direction, this n sin theta is equal to ma, and along vertical direction, that is n cos theta is equal to weight of the body mg. So dividing by equation 1 and 2, n get cancelled, sin theta by cos theta is nothing but tan theta is equal to ma by mg, where get cancelled. From this, acceleration a is equal to g into tan theta. So this is the first question, acceleration of the block. Acceleration to make this block should be constant, so such that the blocks do not slide down. The acceleration of the wedge should be acceleration a is equal to g into tan theta. So our next question is force to be applied on the wedge. So the force should be applied on the wedge such that the block moves with an total wedge moves with an acceleration a, and the block does not slide down, is force to be applied on which. So this is our first question, and the second question is force to be applied on which is equal to force is equal to, according to Newton's second law, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Here mass means mass of the block plus mass of the wedge. So capital M plus small m into acceleration a. So which is nothing but F is equal to capital M plus small m into acceleration a is g into tan theta. So this is our second question. right? And the third question is force exerted by the block on the wedge. Force exerted by block on the wedge, right? Force exerted by block on the wedge is nothing but the normal reaction. So to calculate the normal reaction from these equations, we can calculate the normal reaction. So from this equation to n cos theta is equal to mg, or n is equal to mg by cos theta is the force exerted by the block on the wedge. So these are the three problems. Here we have solved this question by considering a inertial frame of reference. So that means the person or the observer is in the ground. Okay, now let us solve the same problem if the observer is in the wedge. If the observer is in wedge, which means the frame of reference will be a non-inertial frame of reference as the wedge is accelerated. So let us solve the problem by non-inertial frame of reference. Okay students, now let us solve the problem, same problem for an observer on the wedge. So you can see here the observer is on the wedge, which means the frame of reference will be a non-inertial frame of reference where we need to consider a pseudo force. So let us draw the free body diagram for the given equation. So that is, so this is the inclined plane with the angle of inclination theta and the block of mass m. So weight of the block acts vertically downwards, that is mg, and the normal reaction perpendicular to the surface of the contact. So this is the normal reaction. So here you can observe that as the force is acting in this direction, the pseudo force will be there. As it is an inertial, non-inertial frame of reference, we have to consider a pseudo force. The pseudo force will be in opposite to the direction of the acceleration. So the direction of the pseudo force will be in this manner, which is MA. Here MA is the pseudo force. So the weight of the block can be resolved into two components. In this direction it is mg cos theta, and in this direction it is in the direction of the wedge. In this direction it is mg sin theta. Similarly, the pseudo force can also be resolved into two components, in this direction and in this direction. So if I use another pen, it would be more easy. So here is also angle theta, so it will be MA cos theta, and this will be MA sin theta, right? So now here the block should be in stationary condition, so there is no net force acting on the body. So if we write the equation along this horizontal direction, MA cos theta should be equal to mg sin theta, then only the block will be in rest condition, right? Equal and opposite. So here m get cancelled. A is equal to g sin theta by cos theta. A is equal to g sin theta by cos theta is nothing but A is equal to g into tan theta is the acceleration of the wedge, so that the block does not slides down. Same as before in the same expression which we have calculated in before expression, that is for an observer on the ground by using inertial frame of reference. Similarly, if we go for the second question, the force acting on the wedge means it is similar. Force acting on the wedge is equal to F is equal to total mass into acceleration. F is equal to capital M plus small m into acceleration, means g tan theta is the net force acting on the block. Okay, so if we consider the small third condition, what is the weight or what is the force exerted by the block on the wedge is nothing but the normal reaction. So from this, considering this case, So normal reaction in vertical direction, n is equal to ma sin theta plus mg cos theta. So n is equal to m into a. A is nothing but g tan theta into sin theta plus mg cos theta. Right. So n is equal to taking mg common from both the expressions, tan theta can be written as sin theta by cos theta into sin theta plus cos theta. So by taking LCM, n is equal to mg into sin theta sin square theta plus cos theta into cos theta cos square theta by cos theta. We know that sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So no, n is equal to mg by cos theta. Same as we explained in the, or as we considered in the above case, that is for an observer in the ground. So I think from this we can solve a problem by using inertial frame of reference or non-inertial frame of reference, but the expressions would be same. Okay, but the resultant answer should be same. I think from now we can know how to use an inertial frame of reference, or how to solve the problems in case of inertial frame of reference, and also how to solve the same problem in non-inertial frame of reference. But there are some difficulties while using the inertial frame of reference in some cases, where we can solve the problem by using a non-inertial frame of reference or with the help of a pseudo force easily. So let us see a problem where we can solve the problem by using a non-inertial frame of reference or by using a pseudo force. Okay, students, now let us solve a problem by using a non-inertial frame of reference, that is a pseudo force. So the question is as follows: a block slides down from the top of a smooth inclined plane of an angle of elevation theta fixed in an elevator, which is going up with an acceleration a naught. The base of the inclined plane is of length L. Find the time taken by the block to reach the bottom. So given that the inclined plane here is very smooth, so and the angle of inclination is theta degrees, right? So as it is a smooth, the block will slides down. Okay, so now I need to calculate the time taken for the block to slides down the inclined plane when the lift is going up with an acceleration a naught. So to solve some similar problems, we have to consider it as a non-inertial frame of reference. That is, a person is inside the lift is observing, or the person inside the lift is calculating the time. So that is a non-inertial frame of reference. So we need to consider a pseudo force. If you draw a free body diagram, so this is an inclined plane, this is the block. So weight of the block acts downwards mg, and the angle of inclination is theta. Similarly, the pseudo force, as the lift is moving upwards, pseudo force will act downwards. The pseudo force will be ma naught, and the normal reaction will be perpendicular to the surface of the contact. This is the normal reaction. So as the weight of the block can be resolved into two components along this direction, which is mg cos theta, as here is also angle theta, and along this direction it is mg sin theta. Similarly, the pseudo force can be resolved into two components, that is along in this direction, that is ma naught cos theta, and along in this direction it is ma naught sin theta. For understand purpose, I am using two different lines, but it acts on a same line. Okay, so from this, as the block is moving down, so there is a net force acting on the body. Let A is the acceleration and ma is the net force acting on the body. this direction as the block slides down the inclined plane. So from writing the equations, MA naught cos theta, MA naught sin theta plus mg sin theta should be equal to MA. Here both sides m get cancelled, and A is equal to, by taking sin theta common, A naught plus g into sin theta is the acceleration of the block. When this lift is moving in upward direction with an acceleration A naught, then the block slides down in the inclined plane with an acceleration of A naught plus g into sin theta. As the block is initially at rest condition, so the initial velocity u is equal to 0. The distance travelled by the block S is equal to, this is the distance travelled or the inclined plane, given the angle of inclination is theta. Here given is, so this is L theta. So to calculate S is nothing but L by cos theta. So cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse, so L by S. So S is equal to L by cos theta. Initial velocity is 0 and the acceleration A is equal to A naught plus g into sin theta. We need to calculate the time, right? So by using the kinematic equation, S is equal to ut plus half AD square. S is nothing but L by cos theta, which is equal to u, initial velocity is 0, plus half into acceleration is A naught plus g into t square. So A naught plus g into sin theta into t square. So from that t square is equal to 2L by A naught plus g into sin theta into cos theta, or t square, it can also be written as t square is equal to 4L by A naught plus g into 2 sin theta into cos theta, that will be sin 2 theta. So from that, the expression for the time is equal to t is equal to root over 4L by A naught plus g into sin 2 theta is the time taken by the block to reach the down the inclined plane. So here we have considered a non-inertial frame of reference. So only we consider a pseudo force which is opposite to the direction of the motion. So which can be solved much simpler. So if we consider an inertial frame of reference, that is, if the person is outside the lift, then the solving of the problem will be more complicated. So only we have to consider a non-inertial frame of reference in such cases. Okay students, now let us move on to the next topic, how to solve these pulley problems. So in most of the objective point of view, they are asking similar questions by using pulleys. So how to solve these pulley problems? So let us see case by case how to calculate the acceleration, what is the torque acting on the strings, what is the torque acting on this pulley. All these expressions can be calculated. So initially consider the mass of the block M2 is greater than M1. Then only the block will slide down in this manner. So here, as the block of mass M2 is greater than M1, so M2 is greater than M1, which means the block will slide down with an acceleration A. Similarly, the first block will move in upward direction with an acceleration A. Then the tension in the string be T. Let T is the tension in the string. So T is the tension in the string. Similarly, here also tension in the string be T. So now let us calculate what is the acceleration and what is the tension in the string. So for that, let us calculate, let us draw the free body diagram for the individual blocks. So for a block 1, the free body diagram will be in this manner. So this is the block. Here weight of the block acts vertically downwards, that is M1G, and the tension in the string is vertically upwards, which is T. As the block is moving upwards, the net force acting on the block will be in this manner, which is equal to Ma. So from this, the equation can be written as T minus M1G is equal to M1A. T minus M1G is equal to M1A, or T is equal to M1G plus M1A. So let it be the equation number 1. Okay. Now consider the second block. So the free body diagram will be the weight of the block M2G vertically downwards and the tension in the string T up, and as the block is coming down, the net force acting on the will be in this direction M2A. So the expression will be M2G minus T is equal to M2A. From this, or substituting the value of T in this equation, M2G minus M1G minus M1A is equal to M2A. So here in these two, G is common, so G into M2 minus M1 is equal to M1A plus M2A. By taking A common, A into M1 plus M2 is equal to G into M2 minus M1. From which acceleration can be written as acceleration of the block is equal to M2 minus M1 into G divided by M1 plus M2 is the acceleration of the block. Right. Similarly, to calculate the tension in the string, so we have to place the value of A in the equation number 1. So T is equal to, by taking M1 common, M1 into G plus A, where by substituting the value of A, or T is equal to M1G into plus M1 into M2 minus M1 into G divided by M1 plus M2. By taking LCM or by simplifying the equation, T is equal to M1 square G plus M1 into M2G plus M1 into M2G minus M1 square G divided by M1 plus M2. So M1 square plus minus gets cancelled. So T is equal to here M1 M2 G plus M1 M2 G, that is 2 M1 M2 into G divided by M1 plus M2. This is the expression for tension in the stream. Okay, so if the question is asked like this, what is the tension, net tension on the pulley? So if you observe here, to a fixed rigid support, the pulley is hanged. So, and from thereafter, a wire is connected over the pulley, or a string is connected over a pulley. So here the tension is T, and here also the tension is T. So let here the tension is T dash, or the net torque acting on the pulley. So T dash is equal to, net torque acting on the pulley is equal to, here T plus T. T plus T. So T dash is equal to 2T. Right. So T dash is equal to 2T, nothing but the formula will be 4 M1 M2 G by M1 plus M2. This is the expression for the net torque acting on the pulley. Okay, so this is a basic problem. This is the basic question of the pulley problem, which consists of only the two masses. So in later discussion we will see so how to solve the pulley problems in different cases. So students, you have to learn how to solve the problem. Don't mug up the formulas. So just know how to solve the problem. So how to solve the pulley problems means we have to consider the masses individually. For that, I have drawn the free body diagrams for the two masses, as here there are two masses M1, M2. So I have drawn two free body diagrams from which two expressions. I have get the two expressions. From the two expressions only, we have to calculate the unknowns. Okay, just learn how to solve the problems but not the formulas. Okay, so this is the end of the session. In the next session, let us solve some more pulley problems. Okay, thank you.